Ladies and gentlemen, I guess I'm going to start off in the same manner I started off in my last segment. Why should anyone care what John Bolton thinks about anything, especially foreign policy? And also, why should anyone care what he thinks of a conversation with another country's leader that President Trump had? You know, believe it or not, President Trump is allowed to have conversations with foreign leaders. That's part of the job description. Yeah, it's true. That's what happens when you win the Electoral College. Next time, don't cheat Bernie Sanders. Outspend Trump 2-1 and then still lose. Oh, that's right. You're going to go with Clinton again. Democrats aren't going with anyone on that debate stage. Because guess what? The Democratic National Committee wasn't fair and neutral last election. They cheated. The whole thing was a farce and a theatrical performance. It's the same thing this year. Everything that you see right now is just a lead up to Clinton 2020. That's it. And I'm the only person who has stated this on YouTube or in media since 2017 and also wrote in the Huffington Post and the Times of Israel regarding why Clinton and just the fact that Clinton's going to run again. But here, Bolton wanted White House lawyers alerted to Ukraine efforts, called it, it's so ridiculous, called it a drug deal. Witnesses tell Congress. Former Russian analyst Fiona Hill testified to members of Congress on Monday behind closed doors. Former National Security Advisor John Bolton was so disturbed by the efforts to get the Ukrainians to investigate President Donald Trump's political opponent that he called it a drug deal. Former White House official Fiona Hill reportedly told Congress on Monday. So, wait a second. You know, there's another name for this person. His name is former Vice President Joe Biden. And there's another way of looking at it, is that he's on video bragging to the... It's so comical how they get caught with their pants down all the time. And then media spins it in the most Orwellian manner, stating, well, it wasn't the DNC that cheated Bernie Sanders. It was Russia who informed the country of the DNC cheating Bernie Sanders, but Clinton won it fair and square. And, oh, by the way, any information on Democrats is election interference. Any information on Trump is just good journalism. That's how it works. And so, number one, who cares if he alerted White House staff or attorneys or lawyers? Who cares? Former White, so disturbed by Hill, the former top Europe expert in Trump's White House, testified that Bolton told her he wanted no part of the effort that involved acting White House chief. Well, first of all, no one was asking you, Bolton. You know, it's like, oh, you know what? You're not going to get me to help you. It's like, nobody wants you anywhere. I doubt they probably just, acted. they played the role of, really, what are your thoughts? Whatever. President Trump hired Bolton for one reason and one reason only, as a yes man, and to appease the establishment. That's it. And to serve as a bad cop to Trump's good cop. So when he's negotiating with North Korea or any other country, he could say, look, you know what, we got this, the militant homeless walrus here, and who knows what this guy is going to do. At least you want to negotiate with me, you know. He's just asked, Cheney and Rumsfeld and Bush and everyone, Bill Kristol and Max Boot. I mean, Bolton's one of them. You think that Trump hired a neoconservative just for no reason? Trump has the antithesis foreign policy, or at least the opposite foreign policy in many ways. He wants to bring home Americans, and they're like, no, we have to stay. The left in the country wants to stay. Does that make any sense at all? Does that make any sense at all? Giuliani has acknowledged in recent interviews that he asked the Ukrainian prosecutor for information about former Vice President Joe Biden. Yeah, guess what? The Democrats, according to Politico in 2017, why don't we read it? The Democrats, according to Politico, actively sought dirt on Manafort and Trump from the Ukraine. Okay, Ukraine, Backfire. Politico. Ukrainian efforts to sabotage Trump backfire. And then here in Politico, why Trump's Ukraine issue could backfire on Biden. Well, it already has. But Ukrainian efforts to sabotage Trump backfire. Kiev officials are scrambling to make amends with President-elect after quietly working to boost Clinton. Do you think this is by Kenneth Vogel and David Stern, great journalists? Kenneth Vogel is a brilliant journalist. He's at the New York Times now. He's one of the few great journalists out there. Along with John Solomon, who's a fantastic, amazing journalist at the forefront of all of this. Ukrainian government officials tried to help Hillary Clinton and undermine Trump by publicly questioning his fitness for office. They also disseminated documents implicating a top Trump aide in corruption and suggested they were investigating the matter only to back away after the election. And they helped Clinton's allies research damaging information on Trump and his advisors. Look. This is about all of this. Madam Cyberhack doesn't pull the strings on everything. Of course not. This paradigm of thought, this political machine that's going after Trump, there are two people at the head of it. Okay? It's not rocket science. You have Madam Cyberhack and you have Bubba Bill. Not rocket science. Now, the Ukraine conversation and the impeachment and just Biden looking really horrible in all of this because he's the one who possibly engaged in quid pro quo, forcing the Ukraine to fire a prosecutor because that prosecutor was looking into his son's corporation. Yeah, do we know that for a fact? Is it set in stone? No, we don't know, but it's a conflict of interest. Generally, with any conflict of interest for Trump, they want investigations. They want investigations. They had a 3-year special counsel based on a Steele dossier and Comey's memos. They literally began an investigation based on the memos of somebody that was fired by Trump. Now we have Bolton, who, same thing. Now he's going, he worked with Democrats essentially. They don't impeach based on any of this nonsense. They're just inquiring now. They want to prolong. The only thing Democrats have is the media. That's it. That's the only thing they have. So now it's Bolton alerted White House authorities and, about Giuliani's effort. He wanted White House lawyers alerted to the Ukraine effort because it was Trump's political opponent. And I love how they're like, there's absolutely no conflict of interest here. Well, there might be, but he didn't push to ensure this prosecutor would leave for personal gain. It's been debunked. Why? Because people on the left say so? Giuliani already stated he has a lot, just like Adam Schiff stated he has a lot of information and evidence. Actually, I trust Giuliani a lot more because you have Biden bragging about it on video. Do Democrats truly believe that Biden or Warren are the candidates? No. All of this falls under the umbrella or under the cloud of electoral politics. You're going after Biden? Well, Lord knows you already worked with Putin to go after to cheat Hillary. I mean, he's capable of anything, Trump. They're going to lose again with Clinton. Clinton is going to run again because she's the only person who can raise enough money to even get close to Trump in terms of the Electoral College. She raised $140+ million in Florida and still lost. Trump spent 6-point-something million in Florida. Okay? There's really there's not much that Democrats can do with anyone on that debate stage was like today. There's not, or this evening or what. There's not much that they can do. So Bolton alerted White House officials. So what? So then why don't you impeach based on that? We already have the transcript. It's not even a controversy. What do they want? So they're not impeaching based on this. They don't even want to vote yet. They're going to eventually impeach Trump, I think. And I don't know, like, who knows what justification they're going to give. But, and I don't know when Clinton's going to enter the race, but it's about, all of this is under the umbrella of Democrats need to pave the way. And they've done that already with this issue with a conversation and a transcript and a special counsel with Mueller and obsessing over everything he tweets and just never giving Trump a chance. They always say he's not presidential, but they do everything to provoke Trump. It's like this symbiotic relationship where, they make a lot of money and Trump doesn't care. He's playing them all the time. And they think they're going after him, and either way, they're like, well, we're just gonna do what we did from 2015 to 2016 that actually didn't work. They lost, but they're we're gonna just double down and make sure that there's this scorched earth policy where anyone who's voting Trump is now, complicit in the most vile administration in American history. I'm telling you, people, absolutely do not debate anyone associated with, anyone who has derangement issues regarding Trump. Don't do it. And I'm coming out with a website, actually, that will help you debate. But again, past couple weeks, my philosophy on this is, if you have to use my website, use it. It's actually a resource that for your own knowledge, but this will help you defeat anyone in a debate if you have to debate somebody. I suggest you don't. And my philosophy on this came right after I started the project. So it's like, I'm just going to continue with it. People want to join, they join. It's subscription based, but I'm telling you not to debate. So I'm kind of messing myself up in terms of this new little project. But don't discuss, don't ever debate anyone. If you have to, use the website that I'm coming up with. It's going to give you pretty much all the information every single day. And it'll probably, look, you can use it for your own knowledge. You don't have to debate. It is actually a good thing just to help clear the air regarding the continual nonsense, the continual propaganda. Because I'll debunk all of that like I do on this channel. There was no impeachable offense. President Zelensky of the Ukraine has stated, and Poroshenko also both stated, that they were not influenced or pressured or pushed, or there was no leverage utilized to get them to do something they didn't want to do. All of this is in the minds of Democrats, so that everything has to do with their lives are dependent upon their chances of winning. That's it. They don't have a value system. They're not talking about a voting rights bill, and they're not talking about a Green New Deal legislation, only a resolution. They're not talking about Medicare for All bill. They don't have a value system. It's not even a political party. It's just a machine that's running on the fumes of outrage and fabricated nonsense. Clinton is their vehicle and will be their vehicle until, another loss, and then maybe people will realize that they've been played. Probably not. There'll be enough people to realize that they've been played, I think. But Give me your thoughts below. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel. So, Hill told lawmakers she considered what was happening to be clear counterintelligence risk to the United States. What risk? I always liked... Giuliani said that he was disappointed to learn about Bolton's reported comments. I always liked and respected John. Well, I'm very disappointed about his bitterness dry. Well, here we go. I mean, look, no one cares. Even Giuliani's like, he's a nice guy, whatever. Who cares what he thinks? The guy is a militant interventionist, wants to increase our presence everywhere on the globe. Just like Max Boot and Bill Kristol and Cheney and Rumsfeld and Clinton, who's running again and who will lose again in 2020. So, everything's a risk to national security with Trump. Everything is an illegal act. Everything is, ripping apart the Constitution. Everything is tearing the fabric of our nation. Everything is, oh my God, supremacy and enabling and everything. Oh my God, you're voting for Trump. How dare you? What's wrong with you? You're a really horrible human being. Then why don't you impeach? Oh, well, we're looking into it. We haven't even really voted yet to really look into it, but we will eventually. They don't need anything to impeach Trump. They just want to undermine him to pave the way for Clinton. When she runs, people will realize that me discussing this issue is exactly what was taking place. There are a lot of people, there are a lot of Democrats and liberals who believe that, well, why would Clinton run? We have great candidates. Really? Who are they? Well, Biden, Warren, yeah, and who else? They don't even believe the nonsense. They can't fathom. You know who does not? You know the people who don't want Clinton to run? Democrats. Because they're like, oh, there's another Republican thing. She's not even running. It's like, well, no. I thought that she did so much for this country. What are you scared about? What are you frightened of? What are you petrified of? The people who are most frightened of a Clinton 2020 are Democrats. Everyone watching this channel, me, and most Republicans. I'm not a Republican, but everyone to the right of Nancy Pelosi is begging for Clinton 2020. You don't have to beg. It's going to happen. What are the odds that Clinton's unbridled ambition leads to another presidential run? Pretty high. And I'm telling you, she's definitely running. But anyway, it's not. Look, do I know when she's going to enter the race? I do not. I have no clue. But I'll tell you this. If you took if a bunch of kids had a lemonade stand, they would raise more money on a weekend than Biden and Warren combined in a quarter. It was like, you can combine both of them and it doesn't get close to Clinton. How are they going to compete with Trump with Biden or Warren? There's zero, absolutely, positively zero interest. Grassroots support, zero enthusiasm, energy, passion, nothing for Biden or Warren. For Clinton, there is. Guess who wants Clinton to win also in 2020? Comey, Strzok, McCabe, Clapper, Brennan. All of them. You think they're going for Warren or Bernie or even Biden? So, Bolton also is like, Bolton knows that there's an establishment. The Washington establishment is liberal. Liberals have embraced, look, you have Hollywood celebrities hanging out with George W. Bush. It's a topsy-turvy world. This world is upside down. There's no left. There's no left. There's no semblance of an anti-military intervention, liberal or progressive or left. I mean, people say, oh, well, I don't want that either. I don't want this. All you hear is like, we have to keep Americans in regions of conflict. I mean, it's pretty unbelievable when you have Hollywood celebrities hanging out with Bush, who had a marriage amendment, and started the entire mess within the Middle East. And then you have Democrats and media worrying about Facebook ads and their electoral chances in 2020 with the Ukraine conversation, phone call. We already have the transcript. There's nothing there. There's no there. But we do know that there are conflicts of interest with Biden that should be investigated. Give me your thought. And then we have John Durham and William Barr with their ongoing investigations, Clinton email, and the beginning of the whole Mueller nonsense that was started essentially by Clinton. Give me your thought. And I explained in my Federalist articles exactly. Clinton purchased the Steele dossier, CrowdStrike, outsourced by Democrats. Alexander, linked to the foundation. It's Alexander Downer. Give me your thoughts below. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel. Big day today. Thank you.